Um, all right. So first of all, I wanted to apologize for not being able to be in class with you. Last Wednesday, I had to go to the doctor, and the doctor took a long time um, to invite me in his consult. So yeah, I spent almost 2 hours there. So yeah, I wasn't able to make it home on time, but yeah, I appreciate you understanding what happened. Um, so today we are going to review a little bit verbs plus prepositions, and then we are going to move on to would like, would love, would hate, which is the second lesson in Unit 7. And I'm hoping that by the end of the class, we can get to superlative adjectives. I'm going to compare a little bit comparatives and superlatives so you can know the differences. And you can start using those together. All right. So yeah, that is our plan for today. Let me now go to the book. Remember that we, related to the book, we have been working only on the first lesson of Unit 7, which is actually related to the verbs plus prepositions. So last class we were together, we were just focusing on that, on making sentences in order to understand and in order to remember that whenever you are using a verb plus a preposition, what follows is an ing form like this one. Okay, so that's the thing we were focusing on last class. So you have the verb, the preposition, and the ing form of the gerund. Okay, so don't forget about that because that's gonna make us understand this structure. Whatever comes after the preposition is always an ing form. That's mandatory. Before moving on to the second lesson, I wanted to complete at least the listening exercise here so we can start identifying how to create these sentences using the gerund after the preposition. So, well, let me tell you first the page. The page is 143 on your books, and we are going to complete the listening exercise here. Right, so let me make sure that I'm sharing my sound. Yes, I am. And let's go there. Let's listen carefully, and you have to complete each sentence with a preposition or and a gerund. Both things, preposition and a gerund, according to what you hear. Let's go.
1.
Where should we eat tonight? Didn't we talk about going to that new North African restaurant?
Yes, it sounds interesting. They give you a special tea at the end of your meal. Let's eat there.
2.
Do you have any plans for the summer, Caroline?
Yes, I have a lot going on this summer. I'm really excited about taking a vacation with my family.
3.
Hey, John. How's work going?
It's okay, I guess. I'm just a little tired of traveling. I had to travel for work 5 times last month. It was too much. I'm exhausted.
4.
Do you have any exciting weekend plans, Jennifer?
Actually, no, and I'm really happy about that. This week was so busy at work. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but I'm really looking forward to staying home.
5.
Why do you look so nervous, Bruno?
I just saw our travel schedule for today. I'm nervous about going on a boat tour because I usually get seasick. I really don't want to go.
6.
Maria, there's a new exhibit at the Art Museum tonight. Would you like to come with us?
That sounds great, Susie. Thank you so much for inviting me.
7.
Your trip to the pyramid sounds amazing, Amy. I'm interested in seeing all of your pictures from your trip.
Are you sure you want to see all of my pictures, Katie? I took hundreds.
Alrighty, let's listen once again, this time with subtitles so you can check your answers. Let's go there.
1,
Where should we eat tonight? Didn't we talk about going to that new North African restaurant?
Yes, it sounds interesting. They give you a special tea at the end of your meal. Let's eat there.
2,
Do you have any plans for the summer, Caroline?
Yes, I have a lot going on this summer. I'm really excited about taking a vacation with my family.
3,
Hey, John. How's work going?
It's okay, I guess. I'm just a little tired of traveling. I had to travel for work 5 times last month. It was too much. I'm exhausted.
4,
Do you have any exciting weekend plans, Jennifer?
Actually, no, and I'm really happy about that. This week was so busy at work. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but I'm really looking forward to staying home.
5,
Why do you look so nervous, Bruno?
I just saw our travel schedule for today. I'm nervous about going on a boat tour because I usually get seasick. I really don't want to go.
6,
Maria, there's a new exhibit at the Art Museum tonight. Would you like to come with us?
That sounds great, Susie. Thank you so much for inviting me.
7,
Your trip to the pyramid sounds amazing, Amy. I'm interested in seeing all of your pictures from your trip.
Are you sure you want to see all of my pictures, Katie? I took hundreds.
All right, so yeah, that was the exercise. This is just for you to remember how to use these prepositions plus gerunds, which is it's our objective of the first lesson of Unit 7. So remember that whenever you use a preposition, what follows is an ing form. What is an ing form? A gerund. Okay, so this is something that you have to keep in mind because it's something that's going to be like the key thing in our last exam. So yeah, pay attention to these little details. Right, so I was writing the answers for you to check, the ones that you already had written. I just wanted to mention that in the last two examples, they didn't exactly say this, well, actually this one, but you had to interpret the information. So it was a little challenging. I like this exercise, but it's something that I recommend a lot doing. On the platform on my English Lab, you have more exercises about this, not only the ones that I assigned, but also some others. So it can help you a lot to practice with this structure, which is, as I've said many times before, it's very useful. So I truly recommend practicing with it. Now we are going to complete an exercise that is a little bit more complicated. What you need to do is to complete each sentence with the correct preposition and the gerund form of the verb in parentheses. So this verb in parentheses. And the gerund, of course, preposition and the verb in parentheses. I like this exercise because it is a little more difficult than the previous one. And in this case, you have to remember which preposition could be fitting in each of the sentences. So it is a little more challenging. I'm going to give you maybe 5 minutes to finish this, or 4. Let's give you 4 minutes. And then we're going to check all together. All right, I'm going to give you my guesses and you can give me yours. So let me here is my app. I'm going to put my timer so I can give you 4 minutes to finish this up. Yeah, so 4 minutes starting now. By the way, we are working on page 143, in case you haven't noticed. So page 143. Exercise C, by the way. If you have any questions, you can ask me through your microphones, or you can write it on the chat. I'm going to be paying attention. So again, what you needed to do in this exercise is to find out which preposition you need to use with that specific verb, and then transform the verb in parentheses into a gerund, an ing form. So it's not quite complicated, but it requires you to remember which preposition goes with each verb. So let's start reading. Are you excited about going on your road trip to the Canadian Rockies? And the answer is yes, I've been dreaming about this trip for a while, but I'm worried. Who can help me complete this one?
About getting.
About getting.
Yes. Thank you very much. So worried about getting. It is very important that you remember that worry goes with about. Worry about something. All right, so keep it in mind. But I'm worried about getting lost. The GPS doesn't always work. Then we have you should think.
About buying.
About buying.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, guys. So about buying. Again, think goes with about. In this list that we have studied, of course, it's not always just about, but yeah. Think about buying an old-fashioned paper map. Can anybody help me telling me what old-fashioned means? What does old-fashioned mean?
Can I say in Spanish?
You can
It's a
say in
place.
Spanish.
Okay.
¿No está de moda?
Go in Spanish.
Go in Spanish.
No Spanish? Okay. Antique?
Antique, yes.
Antique paper?
Yeah. It's an
Oh,
antique,
that
something that
information
is old.
that is not used at the time.
There you go. It's not up to date also.
Up to date,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
The antonym of old-fashioned would be up to date. So yeah, it's something that is old.
Good, teacher, good.
So it is referring to a paper map. So yeah, that's very old-fashioned. Oh, I've seen some people using them, but yeah, we don't use them anymore. All right, so we shall continue. We have some paper maps, but I'm not used to
reading.
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 Good. What does to be used to means?
Acostumbrado.
There you go.
Not
Estar
Spanish, not
acostumbrado.
Spanish, Helmut.
You say in Spanish, why not? You first you give the
Okay, sorry.
You
you give
started
the
it.
example.
Yeah.
I am continuing.
You started this, Rodri. You started.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
so to be
The
used to
rules.
something means estar acostumbrado, as Helmut said. Estar acostumbrado a algo. In this case, no estoy acostumbrado a leerlos. Okay. This would be los, leerlos. Right, I understand. I'm interested
In visiting.
in visiting.
Visiting.
Visit, yes. Interested in, so I'm interested in visiting, I'm interested in buying, in going, etc. All right, so interested in. I'm interested in the Canadian Rockies, but I don't want to drive. How many hours will you be in a car? About 20 hours total. So that's crazy. You want to get tired
Of driving.
Driving.
of driving. Very good. Yes, tired of driving. That's very good. No, I don't think so. I love it. I really look forward
To being.
to being.
To being.
Yes,
Well,
to
what
being on the road. So look forward, remember that it means something like esperar con ansias or to be excited about something that's going to happen. So yeah, I really look forward to being on the road. Let me mute. Yeah, so I really look forward to being on the road. And besides, we talk about getting a room if we feel tired. Oh, okay, it doesn't sound fun to me, but I believe,
in try.
yeah, there you go. I believe in trying.
Okay.
I believe in trying new things. Maybe I'll take a road trip for my next vacation. You should, it's awesome. You'll thank me
For suggestions.
suggesting,
sorry.
uh,
Suggest.
for suggesting it. Very good. Okay, I'll let you know if I'm feeling up to when I plan my next trip. And the end that sounds good or sounds good. All right, so please, oh please, guys, I truly recommend that you keep practicing this verbs plus prepositions plus ing form. I think the hardest part is to remember the verb and the preposition that it should go with. All right, so yeah, as long as you practice that, your vocabulary would have improved after this lesson, and that is something that I'm looking forward to. Right, so yeah, with this exercise, I wanted to finish up with the revision of these verbs plus prepositions, because I think that we've talked about it enough. Now what you need to do is to keep practicing. So let me go back to the lesson. It was lesson 1. And yeah, so this is the list. Please, so please don't forget to practice it, to review it, to study it as often as you can. That's going to help you a lot to not forget about the preposition that should go with each verb, right? That's the most important thing. And of course, the second important thing is the gerund that you need to use after the preposition. Apart from that, I think that's what we have. Then there is something important that I wanted to mention about pronunciation here. So it's related to the verbs. Let me close this and let me open my tool. So it's related to this. It's related to the verbs want to and going to. When we are speaking, we don't normally say want to or going to. We usually say wanna for want to, wanna, and going to becomes gonna when we're speaking, right? So let's read what it says. We often blend want to together as wanna, and we often blend going to together as gonna. When going to comes before a verb. So I'm going to leave soon becomes I'm gonna leave soon. We do not blend going to together before a noun. So I'm going to Mexico City, it doesn't work. I'm not going to say I'm gonna Mexico City, it doesn't work, all right? So it doesn't work with nouns. It only works with verbs, okay? I'm gonna leave soon, but I'm going to Mexico, okay? That's a different things. So what we blend or what we make short is the to. Instead of saying I'm going to Mexico City, we say I'm going to Mexico City. You say it in a very slight way, right? So this gonna only works when you have a verb in front. I'm gonna leave soon. But it doesn't work with a noun. I'm going to Mexico City. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. We are going to listen to people saying these words so you can actually practice your listening here.
Teacher,
Right.
sorry, I have
Tell
a
me.
question.
Yeah.
The phrase "I'm gonna go to Mexico City," we can say, but it's redundant.
I'm gonna go. No, it's okay, but we don't really say it because, as you said, it sounds a little redundant. So yeah, it's not incorrect, but it's not commonly used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
gonna go.
in
I'm
Spanish
gonna
translate.
Take notes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take notes.
I'm gonna take notes. That's better. That works. Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Mexico City. That's for this example. By the way, in case anybody was wondering. So in this case, I can use gonna because I have a verb here. So I can always use gonna when I have a verb in front. That's the deal.
Okay.
Good. Let's listen now so you can hear the blend pronunciation of going to and want to.
Listen. Going to.
I'm going to Mexico City.
Gonna.
What are you gonna do?
Wanna.
I want to see the pyramids.
Now listen and repeat.
We're not going to listen and repeat, but we're going to listen.
Listen. Listen. Going to.
I'm going to Mexico City.
Gonna.
What are you gonna do?
Wanna.
I want to see the pyramids.
Now listen and repeat.
Again, we're not going to listen and repeat. We're just going to look at this and see how it becomes short. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do instead of what are you going to do? I want to see the pyramids instead of I want to see the pyramids. It's not that one is correct and the other one is incorrect. It doesn't work like that. Both are correct. The only deal is that when we are speaking, because it's easier, we tend to use wanna and gonna instead of want to and going to. It's how it works. It's not a rule to use it. I mean, if you don't use it, you're not going to be making mistakes, but it's good to know. Yeah, so let's complete the exercise here. Let me mark it in case you're not following exactly what I'm saying. This one. All right, so we're going to listen to a conversation and we're going to complete it. Let's go.
Listen. 1,
I'm going to Japan in the summer.
2,
I'm gonna take cooking classes.
3,
I want to learn to make sushi.
4,
My friend and I want to go hiking.
5,
We're talking about going to Canada.
6,
I think we're gonna go in August.
Let's listen again so you can check your answers. I'm going to be writing mine too.
listen. 1,
I'm going to Japan in the summer.
2,
I'm gonna take cooking classes.
3,
I want to learn to make sushi.
4,
My friend and I want to go hiking.
5,
We're talking about going to Canada.
6,
I think we're gonna go in August.
Now listen and repeat.
I'm going
Yeah, we're not going to repeat this time, but we're going to focus on your answers. Right, so in the first one, she says, I'm going to Japan in the summer. So she's using the correct, well, not correct, the complete sentence, because what she has here is a noun. So when you have a noun, you cannot contract it into gonna. You have to say going to. So I'm going to Japan in the summer. 2 would be, I'm gonna take cooking classes. I'm gonna take cooking classes. 3, I wanna learn to make sushi. I wanna learn to make sushi. For my friends and I wanna go hiking. Then we have, we are talking about going to Canada. So in this case, I have to say it completely, going to, because I have a noun. We're talking about going to Canada. And finally, I think we're gonna go. I missed the we are.
We're gonna go.
Yes, we're gonna go in August. Yeah. So in this case also, you can use gonna because you have a verb here. So the only exceptions are nouns. So when you use a noun, there's no contracted form. That would be it. I wanted you to pay attention to that because it's very common. I sometimes use it in class and sometimes I say it the whole thing depending on the context. But for example, when I'm talking to my friends or when I'm talking in a more relaxed setting, I always say gonna and wanna in conversation because yeah, that's how we tend to speak. So yeah, I recommend using wanna and gonna too because it's more natural. So if you want to, go for it. Now, that's it. That's the only, the last thing that I wanted to mention about this. Now we are going to move on to the next lesson so we can complete something else. This lesson is very easy, very, very easy. So I recommend that you pay attention to this because we are only going to be focusing on a very particular structure and it's not a complicated structure at all. So yeah, first of all, as always, we are going to start by having a look at the vocabulary and then we are going to work in the grammar box at the bottom of the page. All right, so let's have a look at the vocabulary. Let me get closer. All right, so what do we have here? Here we have adjectives, or as it says here, words to describe a place. All right, so we are going to be talking about adjectives. So you can describe a place that you have visited, for example. So let's hear, as always, so you can have a look at the pronunciation and then we'll work on meaning. Let's go.
Listen.
Clean. Polluted. Safe. Unsafe. Ancient. Modern. Famous. Not well known. Touristy. Unpopular. Crowded. Deserted.
All right, so as you can see, we have pairs here and we have opposite words. All right, so we have clean and polluted. They are opposite words, clean and polluted. What does polluted mean? You're going to ask me in Spanish. All right, yeah, you can say it in Spanish or in English if you wish.
No, it's a deal.
Contaminado.
Contaminado, yeah, contaminado or also sucio.
Sucio.
Sucio, yes.
Dirty. Dirty is.
Dirty, yeah.
Dirty.
So sometimes we also use polluted to mean that something is not so clean. So yeah, contaminado, I would say.
Yeah, but that word it refers that I don't know how to say gases, but that send the cars or throw out the cars. I don't know if you can understand.
Yeah.
Or
maybe.
just the things that I throw out in the street.
Actually, it refers to everything. Yeah, pollution could be in
Okay.
the air, on the soil. It could be also noise. That's also pollution.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So it's another word for contamination, actually. They are synonyms. So pollution and contamination, exactly the same. Yep.
I thought the
It's
word that doesn't exist, but
mm.
I thought that word contamination, I thought it was invented, but now no.
No, yeah, it is totally a word in English, contamination. Although it's not more common than polluted. Polluted is more common, or pollution in general.
Mm.
Yeah, but it does exist. It also exists the verb contaminate. So yeah, there you go.
Mm,
Yep.
good.
Get to know. Yeah. Then we have safe and unsafe. Yeah, in this case we have like a pavement. I don't know how they say pavement in the US. Does anybody know how to say this in the US?
Black road.
No, that's not how we say it.
That's a good blackboard.
I know that in British English they say pavements, but I don't remember what they call it in. I think it's sidewalk. I'm not sure.
But I think there are bricks, teacher.
They are bricks? No, it's a pavement. But yeah, they look like bricks.
Acera.
Yeah, acera. Yeah, but I'm not sure I'm not sure if sidewalk is the word that they use in the US to call that part of the street, but I'm guessing it is. I think I've heard it, but yeah, pavement or sidewalk. All right, so yeah, safe and unsafe. Safe would be seguro, and unsafe would be the opposite. Then we have ancient and modern. As you can see in the pictures also, we can guess what it means. Ancient and modern. Then we have famous and not well known, not very much known also. So known means conocido, by the way. Conocido. And well means bien. It's not tan conocido, if you wish. Then we have touristy, not touristic, touristy and unpopular. It's touristy and unpopular. And finally, we have crowded. Crowded means full of people, so crowded. And the opposite of full of people, crowded, it's deserted. So you can say, I went to a deserted beach, for example, like in the image, or I went to a deserted island, or the class was deserted, nobody came, for example. Yeah, so yeah, deserted when it's empty, crowded when it's full of people. That's it. All right, so words to describe places. Again, these adjectives are very good for your vocabulary. I recommend including them in case you don't know them already. So yeah, now we are going to complete a small exercise with this vocabulary. Here. This exercise is very interesting. I like it a lot. Let's hope you like it too. What's going to happen? You're going to listen to the descriptions and you have to write one of the adjectives from 1A, right? So, of course, as always, more than one answer may be possible, but yeah, there's usually one that is more common than the other. All right, so you are not going to listen to the vocabulary, you are going to listen to descriptions, and you have to guess which word can fit that description. That's the idea. So we're going to listen to it once without subtitles and the second time with subtitles. Let's go.
1,
There are too many people here. I can't move.
2,
Don't swim in that lake. It's full of garbage.
3,
This building was finished 2 years ago, and it has these cool large-screen TVs everywhere.
4,
Nobody was at the restaurant. It was completely quiet.
5,
Nothing bad ever happens in this city.
6,
The building was built over 4,000 years ago.
7,
People from all over the world want to visit this city.
8,
You shouldn't walk around there by yourself at night.
Alrighty. Now we're going to listen just to check with the subtitles so you can check your answers. Let's go.
1,
There are too many people here. I can't move.
2,
Don't swim in that lake. It's full of garbage.
3,
This building was finished 2 years ago, and it has these cool large screen TVs everywhere.
4,
Nobody was at the restaurant. It was completely quiet.
5,
Nothing bad ever happens in this city.
6,
The building was built over 4,000 years ago.
7,
People from all over the world want to visit this city.
8,
You shouldn't walk around there by yourself at night.
Alrighty. So first thing I want to mention about this, it's in number 6. So we have building, built. And I want to mention something about the English language. Because in Spanish, if I say la construcción fue construida, it's weird. In Spanish, we don't speak like that. La construcción fue construida sounds awful in Spanish. But in English, it's perfectly correct. Okay, so you can have two very similar words in the same sentence, and in English, it's not a problem. Right? So the building was built. It sounds okay in English. Okay, so that's one difference between Spanish and English. In Spanish, we have like more aesthetic rules about that, but in English, it's not like that. So you can repeat the same sound and it's fine. It's not a problem. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
Thanks.
No problem. Let me clear it and let's check your answers now. So in number 1, let me go there.
Crowded. Crowded.
Yeah. Crowded because it says there are too many people. So definitely crowded. I agree. What about number 2? What do we have?
Polluted.
Polluted. Any other option? Any other option apart from polluted?
No.
Unsafe, maybe?
Unsafe,
There
maybe.
you go. Yes, unsafe. Why? Because it's full of garbage. Garbage meaning rubbish.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous, yeah. It's dangerous because it's well contaminated. All right, what about number 3?
Modern.
Modern, yes. It's a modern building. Oh, that's not how you spell it. What about number 4?
Not
Unpopular.
well.
Popular. Popular.
Yeah.
Popular.
Yeah, we have unpopular. I agree.
Popular.
And what are the other options that we have?
Not
here?
well
Not
done.
well. No.
Desert.
Desert.
Yeah.
And not.
Known and also deserted. I like it.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we have 3 options here. So a restaurant that it's almost empty. So yeah, unpopular, not well known, and deserted. Perfectly correct. What about number 5?
Not
Safe.
well known. Oh.
Say, all right. So we have different answers. Let's go to number 5.
Let's vote.
Nah.
Let's vote.
Let's go with nothing bad ever happens in the city. So what is it?
Okay.
Say.
Obviously.
Nobody knows about that place.
No, nobody knows, so that's why nothing happens.
Nah.
I like it.
It's a canted
Well
city.
Yeah. I like it. Well thought. Well thought. Yeah, since it has the adjective bad, I would say that it's safe because nothing bad ever happens. So yeah, what about number 6?
Ancient.
Ancient.
Asian.
Yes. This is easier. Remember, the pronunciation is ancient. Ancient. Yes. Ancient. Good. What about number 7?
Famous.
Christy, famous.
Famous.
Tasty, famous. Yeah, both of them.
Famous.
Yes, because there are a lot of people visiting this place. And finally, 8. What do we have?
Unsafe.
Safe.
Maybe
And what else?
deserted.
Safe. Yeah, any other option?
I don't know.
Dirty.
Maybe it's polluted? No, I don't know.
Not polluted? I would say deserted.
Yeah.
I would say. Why? Yeah, because if it's deserted, it may be a dangerous place. Like we tend to, if we're going to go out at night, we tend to go to places where there are people. But you wouldn't go to a place that is empty. So yeah.
I don't think the same.
You don't agree? You go to empty
The
places at night?
sentence, the sentence it's right. Shouldn't walk around.
Yeah.
That's unsafe place.
Yeah, it's an unsafe place. We think so because yeah, you shouldn't walk
And
around there. by
also
yourself.
deserted.
Yeah, because deserted places at night tend to be dangerous. We know that we shouldn't go alone to deserted places.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Some
rule.
words could appear.
Yeah, of course. It's very common.
It depends.
That's
It depends
very
what you
common.
need, what you're looking for. So
Yeah, could be. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's it. Adjectives again to describe places, and in general, adjectives that are always good to for your vocabulary in order to describe things that you see, right? So please, oh please don't forget about this vocabulary. Now let's go to the grammar. And I promise this grammar part, yeah, the grammar is fun.
yeah.
The grammar part here is very easy. It's incredibly easy. So we're just going to focus on would like, would love, and would hate, plus infinitive. What is an infinitive?
The verb with to. Yes.
The verb with to.
The verb with to.
The verb
So for
next
example, to walk. Then what is a gerund in this case with walk?
Walking.
ING.
The verb with ing.
Very good. And the base form?
Just.
Just
Walk. Yes, there you go. Right, so please don't forget about these 3 concepts because they are all over the language. So yeah, you're always gonna need them. In this case, we are going to use infinitive, which is the verb plus to. So to walk, for example. Yeah, so remember, first thing that you need to remember is that the verb would, it's an auxiliary verb. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have a meaning per se. So what it does is like an auxiliary verb that helps the verb have a different meaning. All right, so would in English gives the ending ia in Spanish. Yeah. So would like, gustaría. Would hate, what does would hate mean?
the opposite of that word.
Odiaría.
Odiaría. There you go. The opposite.
You just say
Odiaría.
on Spanish.
Yeah, not Spanish.
Yeah.
But in this case, Spanish is necessary because I'm giving a Spanish
Okay.
example.
I was thinking
Go to this
how to
spelling.
explain that.
So pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention, yes.
Okay.
What about love? What does good love mean?
María.
A María? Yeah.
A María, a Teresa, cualquiera.
Who's married or you took him?
I don't know who Mary is. Yeah, I wouldn't say a María, I would say encantaría. Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah. So again, this would verb gives the ending to the verbs as ia. Okay. So all the ia endings are would. So would go, How would you say would go in Spanish?
Iría.
Iría. Yeah, so that's what it does, two verbs. Now, we use would plus like, love, or hate to politely say what you want to do or don't want to. Okay? What does politely mean? Politely.
Educado.
Yeah.
Formal.
Yeah.
Like formal.
Formal. Educado.
A
Yeah.
romantic way to say the sentence.
I wouldn't say it's romantic, Rodri.
Ah,
Pay
no?
attention, please.
You are loving. You're in love.
When you say, for example, would you like to go with us? It's like
It's not
Sam-
romantic.
No? Well, okay.
No. No,
Okay.
Rodri, pay attention, please.
Okay.
She's in love.
It's
Probably.
Friday.
Rodri to
It's
the
Friday.
corner.
The wine is making the effects.
Yeah, the one's making the effect on Friday night. We can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Now, so politely has nothing to do with being romantic or anything. It's just related to being to acting with good manners, if you wish. Yeah, like someone said, educado. Yeah.
A formal.
Yeah, a formal way of saying things, good manners. Right, so they are followed by an infinitive. This is also an important thing. Okay, an infinitive, not a gerund this time. And other verbs that are followed by an infinitive may be need, plan, and prefer. So I need to go. I plan to call you. I prefer to ski, for example. Okay, so need, plan, and prefer also are always followed by an infinitive form. Keep it in mind. So yeah, we have questions here because we usually use would to ask questions. Politely request somebody to do something. For example, what would they like to do? Or what would you like to do tonight? Etc. All right, so that's the formula for asking a question with would. You are going to start by a WH word, then would, then they like to do. You can also have questions just by starting with would. For example, would you like some dinner? Well, let's use the infinitive. To eat some dinner, for example. Right, so without starting with WH, what, when, why, etc., you can just start by would. Would you like to eat some dinner? That's perfectly correct. Then if you are going to answer that question, you are going to need a different structure. So you could say, let me mark these ones. You could say to the question, what would they like to do? They would like to go to a restaurant, for example. They would like to go to visit an ancient building, right? So again, would like to. You can also use it in the negative form, and that's cool. So you could say they would not like to go too late. They would not like to go to a modern building, for example. You can also use it with love. They would love to go to a restaurant, or with hate. They would hate to go someplace crowded. So again, you can use it in affirmative or negative form. They wouldn't like, they wouldn't love, they wouldn't hate. They wouldn't hate to go someplace crowded. They wouldn't love to go to a restaurant, right? So it could be affirmative or negative. It works the same way. It's not a problem. So yeah, keep it in mind because it's perfectly possible. Let me check my book. Doesn't like, yeah, everything is fitting on the screen. Now let's have a look at the notes. So we use would like, would love, and would hate to talk about possible or imagined events. right? So it's not something that it's a plan. It's not something that we know that we are going to do. It's like we are dreaming about something. We are imagining what could be possible in the future, but we are not sure if it's going to be possible. That's why we have the would word, yeah, at the beginning. So we would like to go to China someday. It's like a plan that I have, but I'm not even saving money to go to China. It's just something that I wish I could do. I would love to go to China someday. The same. It's something that I dream about, but it's not something that I'm working on to make it happen. It's just a dream that I have. Or also, I would hate to be late for the wedding. Also, you are imagining a situation in which you are late to a wedding, but it's not something that it's a plan. It's not something that is not even near of happening. Yeah, so that's the first rule. So for imagined events or for possible events in the future. Then we have that we use would like as a polite, but we put manners. Oh, my mouse is very crazy. Yeah. So we use would like as a polite way of saying want or offer offers or requests. So do not use it with do not use like, would, love, or hate. So would you like to join us, or would your daughter like some ice cream? So it is a polite way of asking you to do something that I want you to do, for example, or if I have some water, for example, and I want you to have it also, I could say, would you like some water? So yeah, it's a polite way of asking things, asking people to do things with you. And finally, we have that we use the simple present form of like to talk about general preferences. So I like to travel to different countries. Or Ramsey doesn't like to wake up early, right? So this is the present simple. This is not a verb with would, okay? Would is for dreaming, is for future possibility. It's for polite invitations, but it's not for regular events in the present. For regular events in the present, you have to use the present simple. So for example, if I always have avocado and bread for breakfast, I would say I usually have, or I always have avocado and bread for breakfast. I wouldn't say I would like to have avocado and bread for breakfast. If I say that, it's because I'm dreaming or I'm trying to make it possible, right? But it's not a routine, if you wish. So yeah, that's a thing that you need to keep in mind. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I told you that this grammar chart was not going to be difficult. The previous one with the verbs plus preposition is a little difficult because you need a lot of memory for that. But in this case, it's not really difficult. It's just for expressing preferences. And that's it. It's no more than that. You need to remember that you can use it plus an infinitive form. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Do we have questions about this or any comments? Anything you'd like to say?
Teacher, sir, I don't understand the second point. Use would like as a polite way of saying one of offers or requests, but don't use like, would, love, or would hate.
Seem in this case.
What did you say, Helmut? Can you repeat?
Because I got the same confused, but the phrase did not use like is referring about would love or would hate.
Yes. So when you are offering something, you cannot say, Rodri, would you hate some water? It sounds weird. Okay, if I want you to have water, I say, would you like some water?
Yeah.
Instead
of like, don't use would love or would hate.
There you go.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Thanks, Helmut.
There you go. Yeah, also, if I offer you something by saying, would you love some water? It's weird, okay? Don't, now, it's not incorrect, but it's weird. It's better to say, would you like something? So if you're trying to be polite, just use would like and not the other two. That's the meaning of point 2. Thank you for asking because, yeah, it's a little confusing. The way it's written down, it's confusing. Yep. More questions, comments, complaints? Alrighty, all clear then. All right, yeah. So we are going to practice a little bit. It's always good to check if we have understood by practicing. First thing, always the listening. I love the listening actually. Right, so let's start by this one. What's going to happen? You are going to listen to the conversations and you are going to circle or choose the correct answers. So pay attention to what you hear in the conversations. Let's go there.
1,
My parents are visiting this weekend. I'd like to show them around the city.
That's great, Yuki. You should take them to all the famous historic buildings.
I don't know. Those places are touristy and crowded. My parents love old buildings, but they hate big crowds.
2,
How was your trip to the Grand Canyon?
It was great, Mike, but it was too crowded there. I also went camping in the desert. I enjoyed that much more.
Really? I'm interested in visiting the Grand Canyon, but I don't think I'd like to go camping.
3,
What's your favorite city?
That's a hard question, John. I guess my favorite is Athens, Greece, because the people are so friendly, and the city is full of ancient buildings and monuments.
It sounds amazing. I'd love to go there someday. I want to see the city and I want to eat Greek food.
4,
Silver Lake is so beautiful. Maybe we can go swimming there next week.
I don't know, Magda. I don't think you would like to swim there. The water is polluted. It's really not safe.
You're right. I wouldn't like that. I had no idea. The water doesn't look dirty.
5,
Thanks for showing me around today. I know we don't have a lot of time. Could you take me to the 3 most popular tourist attractions?
Are you sure, Brenda? There are some very interesting places that not many people know about. Wouldn't you prefer to go somewhere like that?
No, not really. I'd prefer to see famous places.
6,
We have lots of restaurants. What kind of food do you like, Sam? There's Mexican, Chinese, Italian, and Japanese.
I like everything. It doesn't really matter what kind of food we get, but I prefer someplace clean and modern.
Good, so let's listen again, this time with subtitles, so you can check the vocabulary that you may not have understood. Let's go.
1,
My parents are visiting this weekend. I'd like to show them around the city.
That's great, Yuki. You should take them to all the famous historic buildings.
I don't know. Those places are touristy and crowded. My parents love old buildings, but they hate big crowds.
2,
How was your trip to the Grand Canyon?
It was great, Mike, but it was too crowded there. I also went camping in the desert. I enjoyed that much more.
Really? I'm interested in visiting the Grand Canyon, but I don't think I'd like to go camping.
3,
What's your favorite city?
That's a hard question, John. I guess my favorite is Athens, Greece, because the people are so friendly, and the city is full of ancient buildings and monuments.
It sounds amazing. I'd love to go there someday. I want to see the city and I want to eat Greek food.
4,
Silver Lake is so beautiful. Maybe we can go swimming there next week.
I don't know, Magda. I don't think you would like to swim there. The water is polluted. It's really not safe.
You're right. I wouldn't like that. I had no idea. The water doesn't look dirty.
5.
Thanks for showing me around today. I know we don't have a lot of time. Could you take me to the 3 most popular tourist attractions?
Are you sure, Brenda? There are some very interesting places that not many people know about. Wouldn't you prefer to go somewhere like that?
No, not really. I'd prefer to see famous places.
6.
We have lots of restaurants. What kind of food do you like, Sam? There's Mexican, Chinese, Italian, and Japanese.
I like everything. It doesn't really matter what kind of food we get, but I prefer someplace clean and modern.
Alrighty, we got it, right? So when listening to these conversations, of course, we are making interpretations of what they say. It's not exactly what they say, it's what we can interpret from this, all right? So yeah, that's the idea of the listening, and that's why I like it so much. Juan Carlos, tell us.
Thank you, teacher. Good night.
Hi.
In the number 4, when Magda talk about swimming in the Silver Lake, in a first moment, she expressed that she would like to swim, but her partner say that the water is polluted. So the answer is if Magda like or would like to swim a Silver Lake. For me, would like in a first moment.
Yeah, at the
So what
beginning
do you think?
she wanted to. Yeah, I agree with you, because at the beginning she suggests going swimming actually. Yeah, but then she changed her mind because of his friend told her like it's not really safe, it's polluted. So then she says, oh, you're right. So we can know that she changed her mind. So now she has a different opinion. And then she also says, I wouldn't like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Yes, teacher, you are
conversation
right.
has 2 parts.
Yeah.
First, she loves that place, but
Mhm.
then when her friends talk about the place,
Yes.
she really doesn't like.
Yeah, there you go. That's true, Maria Carmen. Yeah, it's very true. So at the beginning, she was like, yeah, let's go swimming. And then she said like, oh, I changed my mind because it's polluted. It's not safe. So yeah, the 2 parts. That's why we have the idea that she wouldn't like to, especially to Silver Lake, maybe to some other lake, but Silver Lake, it's not her favorite because it's polluted. Good. Any other questions or comments in this exercise? I'm good. Alrighty. So now I would like us to complete another exercise, but we are going to try to do it a little quicker. Let's see if we can make it quicker, because it is a little complicated. So what's going to happen here? You have to rewrite the sentences in bold. What does bold mean, by the way? In bold.
The text in with the lines
Negrita.
crossers.
Yes, there you go. Negrita, or the darkest text.
Darkest,
yeah, the darkest one. Yeah, because we have 2 parts of the sentence. This would be the darkest one, and this is light, right? So the bolded one is the darkest one. So you have to rewrite the sentences that are bolded. You have to use would, wouldn't like, would love, or would hate. And of course, as always, more than one answer is possible. Of course, you have to use contractions whenever possible. Let's read the example. So the example says, I really don't want to miss my flight. Or we can say, I really don't want to miss my flight. The next flight isn't until tomorrow. So the suggestion that we have is, I'd hate to miss my flight. That's a very good option. Then we have Molly loves to travel. She hopes to visit an ancient city someday. So what can we say? Rewriting it with would, wouldn't like, would love, or would hate.
She would love.
She would like.
I would say that she'd love.
She would love to visit.
Visit.
Yeah. So she'd love to visit an ancient city.
Love.
Yeah. Why do we say she'd love to visit an ancient city? Because she loves to travel and she hopes. That's an affirmative thing. Like she has the idea of going there. So she'd love to visit an ancient city. Yeah, I'm using the contraction because when we are speaking, we never say she would love to. That's impossible. We always say she'd love to, right? So yeah, I'm trying to make it a point there. Then we really want to see some famous tourist attractions. We came to Paris for this reason. So how can we rewrite the first sentence?
We'd like to see some famous tourist
We would like to
Yes.
see.
Yes, we'd like to see some famous, etc. attractions.
It works if we say we'd love to see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it says we really want to. So there's an emphasis. I think it's more than like, it's love. We'd love to see some famous tourist attractions. Yeah, get it. Then we have Charlie doesn't want to go to touristy places, but he'll go if the whole group wants to go. So how can we rewrite Charlie doesn't want to go to touristy places?
Charlie would hate.
There you go. Charlie would hate. Do we have any other option?
Charlie would like. Would,
Yes.
yeah.
Wouldn't.
Wouldn't.
Like.
Yes. Wouldn't like, etc. Yeah. So remember the pronunciation of would. That's something that I forgot to mention earlier. So it's like this, would. Yeah, without the L sound. And in the negative form, it would be like wouldn't. Wouldn't. With a very sound. Wouldn't. Very short. So would and wouldn't. So yeah, Charlie would hate or Charlie wouldn't like. Yeah.
We can use he.
Yeah, definitely.
Charlie. Okay.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, if you don't want to use Charlie, go for he. That's a good option too. All right, number 5, I definitely don't want to be late for our tour, sorry. I reserved our spots for months ago. So how can we rewrite, I definitely don't want to be late for our tour?
I hate.
Definitely. I hate to be late.
Hate, yeah.
To be late, etc. for our tour. So yeah, definitely I hate because it says I definitely don't want to be late for our tour. So it's quite strong. Good, so how can we rewrite the question? Do you want to go to the Modern Art Museum?
Would you like to go?
Would you like to go? Would you like to go?
Definitely. Would you like to go? Would you like to go to the Modern Art Museum? Very good. Then we have, does your friend want to come with us? How can we make it into a question?
Would they want to come with us?
They?
With your friends? With your friends?
With your friend.
Yeah. I agree with that one. With your friend. With your friend.
Like
to come with us.
Like? Or
Yeah.
I like.
Like to come with us, or yeah, we cannot say love because we don't use love or hate. We are offering something. So like is the only option. And what does come means? Come.
If they want to
Venir.
go with us.
So what does it mean in Spanish?
Venir con
Venir con
nosotros.
nosotros.
Venir.
Venir. What about go? What does go mean?
Because if you are in point A and you want to go to point B, it's go. But it's reverse, come.
Come, yeah. And actually, in English, we tend to use come instead of go. Yeah. So, for example, when if I'm supposed to meet you and you call me and you say, where are you? And say, I'm coming. I'm coming. Even though I'm going, actually. But when we say in English, it's I'm coming.
In Spanish sounds really, really strange.
It does.
Really, really strange.
Yeah, in Spanish it doesn't work, but in English it's perfect. I'm coming. Or if you say, I'm going to the cinema tonight, and I say, oh, I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you. I wouldn't say I'm going with you. If I say I'm going with you, in English it sounds weird. But if I say I'm coming, it's perfect, right? So we tend to use come a lot in English, more than go. Right? So yeah, when you see it like that, don't think it's strange. It's perfectly all right for English, though it's not okay in Spanish. Yep. Finally, what cities do you want to visit? How can we change it?
Would
What cities
would you like to visit?
like to visit?
There you go. What cities would you like?
Would you like,
like to visit?
Would you
Again,
love
we can...
also?
Sorry?
Would you love also? No.
No, because usually when we are making suggestions or offerings, we tend not to use love or hate. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
They are too strong.
That was the point.
If I say, teacher, if I say, what cities do you really want to visit? Also,
Perfect.
would you like?
Yeah, yeah. Would you really? If you want to give more emphasis, instead of using love, because it's too much, you can use really like. Yeah.
Good.
Good. Yeah, so that's the idea. I told you, I promised it wouldn't be difficult, and that's what you got. It's not difficult. It's just something that you need to remember, that when you are, let's say that in questions, we tend not to use love or hate because they are strong words. They represent some strong feeling, right? So we tend not to use them in questions because, yeah, it's a question, it's uncertain. So we shouldn't be adding a strong feeling to our question. So like is like neutral, whereas love and hate are very strong. So yeah, careful with those two. Use them only when you want to say something like strong. Otherwise, go for like. It's neutral, as I said. Yep. That's the deal with that lesson. Yeah, easy peasy. I told you.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. I told you guys. Nothing to be worried about this lesson. Yeah, and then the beautiful adjectives also very easy peasy, as you may have noticed. Yeah, so in Unit 7, we are only missing lesson 3. And yeah, what's going to happen with lesson 3 is that we are going to start comparing superlative adjectives. And I also want to talk about comparatives in this lesson. So we can remember comparatives as well as we can practice superlatives. You can have the two structures because both of them are quite important, quite useful. Yeah, so this is something that we are going to study on Monday. This is something new. I'm not going to start with it right now because I need to talk to you guys about the final project. What is the final project about? Who remembers? Nobody remembers.
What final project, teacher?
What final project?
Yeah.
What final project? Who can help me out?
We have to sing.
Write a text, 3 paragraphs, talking about milestone or bucket list or combining the two, both.
There you go.
And the second part, record a video of you talking about my milestone or the first
The bucket list. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Sharon, you are already my favorite student.
What?
No.
She's my favorite student. I'm sorry.
Really,
She's
I'm
always
sorry.
listening to
Sorry,
me.
Helmut, sorry.
I'm
Not
so
true.
sorry.
It is
Sorry,
true.
Rodrigo.
Now.
She's the only person that listens to me.
You waste your
Oh.
time.
All right. So what is the deal? Final project. So you have to write a text first. First step, write a text. We're just going to remember this, so you are sure that you complete it before it's too late. So write a text, and I gave you two options. Option A. What is option A? Milestones. You can talk about your milestones, like saying things that you have achieved, things that have happened to you, etc. The second one is my favorite. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you should decide this one. I'm just saying it's my favorite, but both of them are there for you to choose. It's a bucket list. What is a bucket list? You can remind me?
Bucket list. Ufa.
The things want to do before dying.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Paul. That's it. So the things that we want to do before dying. That's why I like it.
The list that I want to do in my life.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So instead of mentioning before dying, you can say, well, while am I alive, in my lifetime, what do I want to do? What is something, or what are the things that I want to achieve? Have a look at this. Milestones is talking about your past, things that you have already done. That's over. But in your bucket list, you can dream about the future. So all the years that you are going to live, what would you like to do? Both of them are correct. I mean, just because I said the bucket list is my favorite doesn't mean that I'm not interested in your milestones. Of course not. So you can talk about one of them, or you can combine them, as Sharon said. All right. So if you want to talk about your milestone, and then in the second part of your text, you want to talk about your bucket list, perfectly correct. Also, it's something that I'm interested in. Once you write the text, you have to record a video talking about it, not reading your text. This is not a reading exam. Okay, I want you to tell me about it. Yeah, now you are going to ask me, how long does the video need to be? I don't know. It depends on how much you are going to talk. All right, so I suggested writing a text at least 3 paragraphs, right? At least 3. How long is a paragraph? 10 lines. Okay, so at least 30 lines. It's quite long. All right, so at least 3 paragraphs. Of course, it can.
It's so much.
Piece of cake.
No, it's not that much. It's very little. It's very little.
It's like a book.
Like a book.
A history.
It's like a short story. It's not. It's very little.
So with 30 pages, yeah? Okay, I am good.
30 pages, yes.
Your first book, Rodrigo.
Okay.
The book of your life. Yeah, finally. Yeah. All right, so
Goal for
Yeah,
Sharon.
because I am 15. This is why.
All right, so it's not very long. It's just that I want to see how much vocabulary you're using, how many structures, how much ChatGPT you're using, of course, because I can notice. So I need to see everything. Of course, I already know how well you write because I have read your texts. So yeah, if by the final project you present something extremely beautiful with flowing vocabulary, then I will know. Okay, so yeah. Careful with that, because if I read something like that, it's a 0, even though you may record a video and everything. I want something that you write. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the most beautiful vocabulary. I'm just looking for something where you can show me that you can express your own ideas with your own vocabulary, okay? So the way that I'm going to grade this is not the most beautiful words, the most complicated words, the most complicated structures. No, I don't care about that. I just care about you expressing your own ideas, right? So with the vocabulary you have, with the structures you have, okay? That's why I'm not telling you, well, use this structure or the other. No, use whatever you have, but use it well. That's all I'm asking for. And the same in the video. I want you to talk about it with the vocabulary that you have, with the pace, the rhythm, the pronunciation, everything that you have. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to be evaluating. Regarding pronunciation, please, if there is something that you don't know how to pronounce or you're not sure, check it so we can understand what you say, of course. But apart from that, do it with whatever you have, and I'll be happy to hear you and to read you. That's it.
And the
Now-
date, I'm sorry, the date?
The date, yeah, that's something that I was going to mention right now. Yeah, so let me show you. Let me stop sharing this. Yeah, I'm hoping that everybody got this. And the date that I was thinking about, let me open this. Let me share my screen. So this is intermedio. And yeah, here's the deal. We have one more exam on 20 points. But we have one more, yes.
Why?
There were 3.
But repeat the second or the
Oh my
first.
gosh, what are you suggesting? What are you
Let's
suggesting?
work for you. Come
No, I like working.
on. Workaholic.
I'm a workaholic.
You really love us. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I really want to see your answers. Yeah, so that's something that needs to happen. I was thinking that it was gonna happen on June the 5th. Let me check and my calendar, June the 5th. But yeah, maybe I'm going to move it to June the 7th. Why? Just because we have missed some classes and I want to review some structures first. So would it be okay for me to move this exam for June the 7th, or do you prefer June the 5th? Let me
7
hear you.
would be better.
The 7th? Do we agree?
25.
The
Yeah, for
7th?
me, it's better, 7.
I also think so. And on taking an exam on a Friday, I think it's easier than in the middle of the
But we
week.
have teacher celebrations that day, I think.
That's right.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
You confirmed, teacher?
I haven't. I'm not
Why
going.
not? Why not?
I'm going to be traveling that day. So
Mm.
sad. Yeah.
Sorry, Helmut, second chance. Mhm.
I'm sorry for you because you're so tired, Rodri.
You guys. All right.
Sorry, teacher. We are just joking, teacher.
I know. I know. Yeah. Let me ask you, all of you, because I just got 2 answers, and yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind if you have it on the next day, on Saturday also. So if you agree, we can have the exam on Saturday.
8 could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me write the poll so all of us can vote and we can know exactly what we want. So the first one is the 5th of June. So June 5th. And then we have June 7th or June 8th. Let me write down the what we have here. So this is a Saturday. June 8th is Friday. And then we have June 5th, which is a Wednesday. Alrighty. Let's save it. It's taking some time. Yeah, let's vote, please, so we can decide on this very quickly. What do you guys prefer? If votes are divided, I can open it on Friday and leave it open until Saturday. You can complete it whenever it's possible for you. It's not a problem, as long as you complete it.
Did you check the second test?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
A few classes ago.
Okay. Did you one question? Can you change the date of the English lab for tomorrow, Saturday?
All right. Yeah,
The
I
date?
could do that. I could do it.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Due date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Due date. Yeah.
Due date. Okay.
All right. As you can see in the results, we have a problem. What is my problem? We have 7 votes for June the 7th and 7 votes for June the 8th. Okay. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to open it on Friday, so you can complete it on Friday if you want to. And I'm going to leave it open for Saturday too. So if you want to complete it on Saturday, complete it on Saturday. Whenever that's good for you. But no more than that, because then I need to check it on Sunday. So yeah, that's the deal. All right. So it's going to be open for 2 days. You can complete it whenever it's better for you. Yeah, then we have another thing that we need to talk about. Oh, it's 7. There, it's already 30. Yeah, never mind. I'm going to move the final project, of course, for a week later. So I'm going to give you the whole week to work on your project. Yeah, because of the missing classes that we have in between. All right, so yeah, the final project's due date or deadline would be on the 14th. Okay. So you have 1 more week to complete that. Of course, if you have more problems with it, you can talk to me privately. But yeah, the due date would be on the 14th. Yeah, so next class, I'm going to be talking to you about a few things that are going to happen next week. But yeah, that's for another talk that we need to have. All right, so I'll be seeing you on Monday to be talking about comparatives and superlatives. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much,
One
all you
question,
guys, for
please.
coming. Yeah, tell
Before
me.
you go, what does it mean portfolio? What's it?
The portfolio is all those little activities that we do in class, and also attendance. Yep.
I have them.
Yes.
But we don't have another homework for portfolio.
We do, yeah. So those activities that we do in class, when I ask you to go to the small rooms, that's portfolio.
Yeah.
I'm evaluating that.
But no, another one in this week or the last week?
We haven't had, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still taking attendance. I take screenshots by the end of the class, every class.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Share.
We didn't know.
Can we share our project with you before the review in the share folder?
Yeah, of course, definitely. So all the projects need to be on Drive, on your personal folders. That's where I'm going to review them. If you have a draft, or if you want me to check them before you submit them, it's perfectly okay. You can send me a message and I can check it for you. So it's not a problem.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
And teacher, can we present before that 14 June?
Of course,
June
yes.
14?
Whenever you have it ready, you let me know and I can check it, and that's it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good. All right. More questions or comments? Complaints?
It's okay, teacher.
Yeah. Good. Thank you very much. I would like to, yeah, no, never mind. Thank you very much for coming. I will see you on Monday then. Thank you.
Don't forget to change the due date for tomorrow for English lab.
Yeah, let me write it down because I'm gonna forget. Yeah.